Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Excuse me, my beautiful singing voice. I'm James.
I'm still Kyle.
Recently, we just got a trailer for... I'm genuinely excited for this. Pokemon Legends ZA. I cannot tell you how ecstatic I am for this.
Is it more than that teaser? All I saw was the teaser.
We've only gotten the teaser. Only gotten the teaser. The information we do have outside of the teaser was just like general information that came with it. It's all set inside the... So, for reference, I don't know how much do you know about Pokemon X and Y?
I played them once.
Okay, so you have a little background knowledge. So, takes place all within Lumiose City, which, for the uninitiated out there, is essentially Paris, because Gen 6, X, and Y are based off of France as a country, because every generation takes inspiration from a certain region of the world. Anyways, so the entire game takes place in Lumiose City. We don't know what the hell is going on, because we have what looks like 1700s, 1800s building plans, but then we have like a modern, like basically the opening to Tron Legacy looking grid type construction of Lumiose City, and it's like, is this the future? Is this the past? Is it both? Is it neither? I just really, really want to finally get closure on the Az and Floette storyline, for the love of God.
Two things to unpack with that, right?
Yes.
So they were the only generation to not have a third game, right?
Yeah, you had, let me go. So you had 1 and 2, which were, you had Gen 1, which was, yes, you had 3, 3, 3, 3, 4. Yes, it was the first generation to not have more than 2.
Okay, so this is probably their spiritual successor of
Yes.
Z, right?
Yes, because it was rumored forever that it was going to be X, Y, Z.
Right. So with that being said, with it being a Legends game though, does that mean that, do you think that they're going to go the Arceus route where it would be like a open world, kind of like that same feel, like kind of competing against PoW World? Or do you think that they're going to try to stick somewhere in that original X and Y facet?
I personally think they're going to stick with the Legends framework with Arceus, purely because they've set it up. It worked. People loved it. But I think they're going to take it in more of a Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation direction, because it's all set within a city, that it's going to be a lot more city focused. Although I do think we're going to have past and future iterations, kind of a la Zelda Link to the Past.
Right.
Either you get to travel between the two, or you know what's going to happen in the future, so what you do in the past sets up for the future. Well, I don't know, but...
Didn't Scarlet and Violet take that on a little bit? With
they
the future
did. They had the future past motif, but you only saw remnants of the past or remnants of the future. You never went between the two. So that'd be interesting to see what they play with there, but it's definitely hard, because if it's all within a city, it's like, how the hell are you going to have like grass Pokemon? So I think what we're going to get is we're going to get the construction of Lumiose, so that you have the forest-based Pokemon, and then you're going to have the construction of the city, which is what leads into Zygarde. He's not happy, or at least he wouldn't be happy.
He wouldn't be, no.
What are your thoughts on the direction of this?
I believe that they'll go the Arceus route. With Arceus being very mountain range and like, regional kind of things, I don't know how that pivots to a city aspect.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel like you have to do some sort of hybrid model, which is why I think that they may go a little bit of a different direction, where it's like more the Scarlet and Violet kind of feel, where you have that elements of open world, but not all the way to the point that you're like, running certain directions and battling in the open and things like that.
Yes.
So I don't know, because the Pokemon franchise as a whole needs like a pretty good evolution right now. And I don't know if they know it yet.
No, this is definitely one of those things where it's like, welcome to mega corporations, people. I won't get too anti-capitalist today, I promise. This series does absolutely need a shakeup. It's why PoW World was so successful. It took the formula and said, we're going to do what we want with it, because it needs innovation. I have a feeling that with the city planning aspect, we're going to get a lot less go beat the shit out of an angry Pokemon and more like character-centric storylines. Because Kalos had so much to it that we never got. Because so much, like there's the Hex Maniac, the Power Plant, again, the Az and Floette storyline. There's so much they can work with here, and I think it's going to be more of a character piece than it will be a Pokemon piece. Of course, there'll still be Pokemon. Can't have Pokemon without Pokemon, but it'll be a lot more character-focused.
Do you think it would be more of like an RPG kind of feel, where it's like gotta have a lot more like elements that you wouldn't really expect from Pokemon, but they're probably gonna use it as a testing ground for some of this stuff?
Very much so, because the Legends game seems to be this experimentation, this kind of sandbox where they can play with whatever they want. I think if this game is to be successful, it needs to bring in more classic RPG tropes of go on a quest, help us, team up with people, because this game has so much it can do with a story, because again, Kalos has so much we don't know about. So to really experiment with a different kind of storytelling in this game would be genius. And honestly, this just came to me right now, I think it would be brilliant if it was non-linear storytelling. So a la Memento or Pulp Fiction.
So they just start at the end.
They start at a different point in time and you have to build this mystery together.
That's cool.
You have to build Kalos together. I don't know. Is there anything you really want to see from this game?
I'd like to see them build upon the Mega Evolutions, which are coming back.
They are coming back.
And because that is arguably one of my favorite aspects of these little nuances that they've been teasing and throwing in, where the Gigantamax and the
terrestrialization.
That was my least favorite of all of them.
Mega is factually the best.
Yes. So with Mega Evolutions giving old Pokemon a new way to shine, I think is the best way to do it. And if you start with, they've already done a decent amount of the Gen 1 Pokemon, so now you can start, giving Gen
newer
3, 4, and 5 their Mega Evolutions, and then just start working in with all of that. And I think that's the direction that you need to go in order to lean into what works, but also test some new things. But also, like, with that being said, I don't know if that open world Legends format fits that same concept, which is where I want to see some gameplay. That's where I feel about it, if I'm being honest.
Absolutely. Personally, I really want the Floette Naz storyline. If I haven't been obvious about it enough, it's forever now that has been the biggest thing bothering me about Pokemon lore, because it's like, come on guys, it's right there, you're sitting on it, it's right there. And I have a good feeling with Mega Evolutions appearing in this game that they are going to at least touch it, because that's where Mega Evolutions came from, is the weapon. So maybe, I'm trying not to keep my hopes up, but at the same time, it's Pokemon Z, guys.
Right. And it's not Gen 10, so that's how we're ending this segment.
I guess the perfect way to epitomize this game is there's hope. Not a lot, but there's hope.